Hello, Professor Coolidge here. I'm actually named after Calvin Coolidge. He's a former president of the United States of America. You'll learn that. Um, I mean, that's just something you learned here, right? Probably more than you've learned in college, or if you've even been in college. That's the point. So listen, this video is here. If you're a young person, I would recommend like if you're like younger than 12, you probably shouldn't watch this video because like you're stupid. Like your brain hasn't fully I mean, well, not even fully developed. Your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 40 years old. That's novel research from the Infinite Insight Academy. That's novel research, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's age 25. We've done the research. It's not. We dispute those claims. I think it's pathetic, really. I mean, they ignore our research. They ignore the things we do. And it's the media. And that's the whole thing. That's a whole can of worms, and you don't want to open up a can of worms unless you're looking to fish, and I ain't fishing. So anyway, so like, look, obviously we all know college is a scam, and there's a lot of people talking about it, and like I think people like Sneeko, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, they're brothers, and I didn't know that, so it's an interesting thing. Like learns like, but they are brothers, and yeah, I assumed, but you don't. I mean, you can have assumptions, you can assume things, but you don't put it out into the ether. And when I say the ether, I'm even just talking about my own mind and my own actions, right? I can maybe have these assumptions, but I try and just I bury them because it will change, or it will influence the way that you act even if you don't say it out loud. I mean, it's incredible. But anyway, just listen, okay? I'm sorry. When I say just listen, I'm talking to myself. I look as a professor of the academy. I mean, you know how professors are. Well, maybe if you're not in college, you don't know yet, but you know, teachers are. We lecture, we're long-winded. We don't let other people talk. It's just how it is. And um, but yeah, look, you understand college is a scam, and it is because the reality is that you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, bare minimum, really. I mean, and then people are like, oh, it's not that much. It is that much because your time is worth money if you put that time into bettering yourself, grinding, to becoming a better you. I mean, like, it would improve your life in just so many ways, and you would make millions of dollars. Like, anyone can do it, but it's the system that brings you down. But look, so what I'm trying to say is, look, well, usually, Jesus Christ, that's unprofessional. I'm gonna edit that out. Um, Look, God, I'm nervous. Okay, okay. It takes 4 years. We all know how much money it is. I mean, even if you're not in college, I mean, you've probably just been bombarded with like you have to save your money. You have people now who are working jobs at 14, 15 years old, saving up for college, and it's just like Jesus. And well, Jesus, that's a whole thing, but uh I don't know. And and I mean, obviously, and things have changed. Like college was always a scam, but like, ever since, you don't want to get political, but ever since, certain people have gotten into offices that maybe or maybe not they got in there and maybe kind of in an illegitimate way. I don't want to get political or anything, but that's just the thing. Um, I don't want to get political. I don't. But anyway, but we all know it's a scam. It's always been a scam, but it's got even more big of a scam so recently, ever since in the past 4 years. So I'm gonna teach you how to essentially gather all the knowledge that college teaches you in just however long this video takes. Um, and that is through Wikipedia. It's the free encyclopedia. Now I know maybe some of you have heard of it, maybe some of you haven't. Honestly, I think in the past couple of years, it's sort of become this sort of thing that only certain people know about. Like maybe when you look something up, it's always on the side there, but that's the thing. It's on the side. It's not on TikTok. It's not on YouTube, which is where you're on now. This is really what I want you to do. I want you to get the heck off YouTube. I want you to get the heck off YouTube. I want you to get the heck off YouTube. This place is it's a cesspool of nothing. This is what's brilliant about Wikipedia, right? Cesspool, right? Let's cesspit. Okay, so this is it, right? So I mean, like, we can read about this right now, okay? And like, this is basically an example, right? The way to learn everything is to just read a bunch of Wikipedia articles every day, and like, if you want to know something about something, you don't have to go to school. Like, if you want to be a mechanical engineer, go to Wikipedia and look up mechanical engineering. If you want to learn about cesspools or cesspits, I mean, that cesspit's the primary word we would use. So, like, I'm using cesspool pit as an example. Um, I'm basically we're going to be using cess pit as an example. You can like read. Jesus, 6 pranks in 1. Because usually when I see like these Kamala or like any Kamala Harris or Donald Trump prank package, usually like it's usually like 2 pranks. There's only like 2 prank letters. But look at this. Like you got like usually it's just a letter and a receipt, right? Letter receipt. But these guys, they have a letter receipt, a VIP invitation, like this invitation to join Truth Social. That's really funny. And then there's a you can't really see it up here. I mean, you can see like there's a certificate of appreciation. Could you imagine if you had like a guy, like you had like a friend who's like maybe like doesn't like Republicans or something, like a certificate of appreciation from Trump's campaign or Trump himself? Really, that'd be so funny. But yeah, look, yeah, see, you have like a volunteer performance review, a receipt. My goodness, this is hilarious. VIP, like, oh my God, letter, receipt, next payment due. Jeez. Could you imagine them getting that? Like, oh my goodness, that'd be crazy. I mean, look, and like this is I mean, I love this disclaimer. This is not meant to be used, or this is meant to be used all in good fun. This is not for the purposes of bullying or harassment. That's like incredibly just a beautiful thing. Jeez, and like I mean, look at this over here. We got the same with this one, and look at this beautiful design. I mean, like 6 pranks in 1. I'm just like usually that when you have like one of these prank packages, like wow, it's usually just on like 2 letters. This is like 3 times the letters, which are like 3 times the prank, which means like 3 times the fun. You'd expect it to be 3 times more expensive, but it's actually the exact same price as the competition. Just saying, like that's kind of incredible. You think about that, right? It's like, geez, it's like wow. Well, I mean, it'd be so funny. Like, you got this friend, like, oh, you have like a Republican friend, right? And then it's like they get this, right? And it's the mailman hands it to them if they do signature required, right? But even if they don't do signature required, they open up their mailbox and it's just Harris Walls 2024. Thank you for your invaluable contributions. Dedicated volunteer. $1,000 monthly platinum membership. That's I mean, you can see everything inside. You got a letter. You got a VIP invitation right from Harris, and the letter is also from Harris, signed by her. Recipients right there. I mean, also with most of these other, prank packages, right? It's just a generic letter that says like dear fellow Democrat. No, this says dear the actual person's name. You're going to enter in the person's name. That name's going to be there. For example, if their name is like mine, dear Calvin Coolidge, or dear Professor Calvin Coolidge, even make it a little bit more, maybe more professional, or even just more, whatever. Dear Professor Calvin Coolidge. And it's just all these things as we embark on this journey together, yada yada yada, all this incredible thing. She's, thanking you for your just your invaluable contribution of just being this dedicated volunteer and $1,000 monthly membership, and she signs it right here, and you got this VIP, invitation. You got the subscription receipt. My God, for their $1,000 monthly platinum membership, they're gonna lose their minds. And they got this volunteer performance review for your prank target, right? And obviously, I mean, they're getting an A+ grade. I mean, there's no doubt. Look, you got their certificate of appreciation as well. I mean, your recipient's name right there in gold. I mean, come on, right? And look, you got this, right here. Look. Sorry, cocaine. Is that? Look, and then they can scan this and then request mail-in ballot. Now the QR codes for the mail-in ballot and for the VIP invitation, it leads them to this site and it lets them know they've been pranked, and it's incredible. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is the thing I'm just thinking about. Anyway, so this is basically how you learn something. I'm going to read this article to you about cesspit. Cesspit. I said cesspool, but cesspit is the primary terminology. And we can also learn about the G.I. Joe character. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read cesspit, and I'm also going to read list of Cobra characters for you. And those two are the perfect example of what to do when you want to learn something. If you want to learn, we're going to read three. We're going to read about cesspits. I like to say cesspools. I really like to say cesspools instead of cesspit. I don't like that word cesspit. I really don't. Like I'm a wiki warrior. I'm in the the forums. I'm in the talk pages, I should say, and I'm in there. Let's change this. Let's do that. Hey, I'm one of the primary people who had Bilal Muhammad. So, I mean, okay, look at this. Bilal Muhammad, at one point, it used to say Bilal Muhammad is a Palestinian American. But I'm one of the people who changed it because he's not Palestinian American. He's American. He just was raised by Palestinian parents. That doesn't make you Palestinian. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you don't. Yeah. So I was one of the people to change that. It's like incredible what I've done, and really, I mean, it's like I'm a warrior. I fight like hell for your country, and I'm sorry, but like I don't want to get political, but like Trump 2020. I mean, we are going to win this thing. Like Trump's going to get back in. He's going to save the world. He's going to say to Zelensky, like, stop the war. They're literally invading Russia now. It's like, people show you your character once you give them a modicum of power, a modicum, and look what they do. They abuse it. I mean, those poor Russians. I mean, how many Russian soldiers have to die before this damn war ends? I mean, it's just so disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm utterly disgusted. Disgusted. Okay. Well, we're not going to read the Bill Muhammad Wikipedia article. I mean, it's we're going to read these three Wikipedia articles. What you're going to learn is that, listen, if you read a Wikipedia article, you literally know everything about that topic, and you don't have to go to school for the goddamn thing. Like, if you want to be a computer scientist, read the computer science Wikipedia article. You cut the fat. I'm all about efficiency. We need efficiency in this world. That's what we're missing, okay? Cesspit, it annoys me. Redacted, cesspool, and soak pit, in some contexts, are terms with various meanings. They are used to describe either an underground holding tank sealed at the bottom or a soak pit not sealed at the bottom. A redacted can be used for the temporary collection and storage of feces, Sorry, I have a very immature sense of humor. So sometimes anytime like there's any sort of mention of like excrement, I sort of, or like, I know that doesn't say excrement, excreta or whatever. I mean, I've never even really heard that word, and I'm a very educated person. Or fecal sludge as part of an on-site sanitation system, and has some similarities with septic tanks or with soak pits. Traditionally, it was a deep cylindrical chamber dug into the ground, having approximate dimensions of 1 meter. Also, I don't like how it's spelled in like not American, like it's spelled, I don't know, diameter, and 2 to 3 meters depth. Its appearance was similar to that of a hand-dug water well. The pit can be lined with bricks or concrete, covered with a slab, and needs to be emptied frequently when in use of an underground holding tank. In other cases, if soil and groundwater conditions allow, it is not constructed watertight to allow liquid to leach out, similar to a pit latrine or a soak pit. Uses: In the UK, redacted is a closed tank for the reception and temporary storage of sewage. In North America, it is simply referred to as a holding tank because it is sealed. Because it is sealed, the tank must be emptied frequently and on average every 6 weeks. But frequency varies a great deal and it can be as often as weekly or as rarely as quarterly because of the need for frequent emptyings. The cost of maintenance of a redacted can be high. If owners in the UK do not maintain their redacteds, they can be fined up to 20,000. Like I don't even know the conversion for pounds to dollars, and I'm one of these people. I'm all about efficiency, right? Because I'm speaking to a primarily American audience, and college is an American term. People use university in other countries because they're pretentious pieces of trash who deserve to die. So like they use like, oh my god, like a university. Like, no, it's not. It's a college. Like, it's a college. Some colleges might be called university, but it's a college, not university. You just like you're a pretentious piece of trash. You think you're better because you have an accent. You're not better. You complicate the world. You make everything crazy. Like, and I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. So I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna. I don't know what 20,000. I don't know what 20,000 pounds is when you convert it to dollars, and I don't even want to know because honestly, pounds don't matter. The only pounds I care about are my belly, and honestly, like I'm shedding pounds like a mug. I'm not eating. This is. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's just like woo, 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 like I'm just like bah, 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 like I'm like you think Rocky Balboa was shredded, especially in Rocky 3 and Rocky 4. I mean, dude, he was shredded in Rocky 3 and Rocky 4. Now, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, a cesspool at one time, built like a dry well lined with loose fitting brick or stone, used for the disposal of sewage via infiltration into the soil. L- Liquids leaked out through the soil as conditions allowed, while solids decayed and collected as composited matter in the base of the cesspool. As the solids accumulated, eventually the partic- particulate solids block the escape of liquids, causing the cesspool to drain more slowly or to overflow. A biofilm forms in the loose soil surrounding a cesspool or pit latrine that provides some degree of attenuation of the pollutants present. But a deep cesspool can allow raw sewage. So I almost said sewage. I actually did say sewage, but I kind of stopped myself mid sewage. To directly enter groundwater with minimal biological cleansing, leading to groundwater pollution and undrinkable water supplies. That's an opinion. Water can always be drinkable. It just depends on if you live or die or not. But you can always drink. You can drink anything. You could drink anything. You can drink anything that's a liquid, or even, I mean, you put it into a blender. You put some water in any solid in there. As long as a blender can blend it, you drink it up. I mean, I've tried it. You can get sick, but you'll be better. That's modern medicine for you. And it's like, in my opinion, it's like modern medicine. Like you use it or lose it. You know what I mean? It is for this reason that deep water wells on the property must be drilled far from the cesspool. Most residential waste cesspools in use in the U.S. today are rudimentary septic systems consisting of a concrete. Oh my goodness, my OBS froze for a second. I'm Professor Coolidge is not an expert in technology or what the hell to do with OBS when it freezes. I'm not exactly a technological guy. I'm actually a professor in political science here at the Infinite Insight Academy, which is actually an accredited university or college, we should say. We're not pretentious pieces of garbage who deserve to die. Consisting of a concrete capped pit lined with concrete masonry units, cinder blocks, laid on their sides with perforated drain field piping, extending outward below the level of the intake connection. The concrete cover often has a cleanout pipe extending above ground. Some are constructed with concrete walls on one or more sides. The waste cesspool is vulnerable to overloading or flooding by heavy rains or snowmelt because it's not enclosed and sealed like conventional septic tank systems. It is also vulnerable to the entry of tree roots, which can eventually cause the system to fail. Regulations. Modern environmental regulations either discourage or ban the use of cesspools, and instead connections to municipal sewage systems or septic tanks are encouraged or required. In many countries, planning and development regulations for the protection of the watershed prevent homeowners who live close to rivers and environmentally sensitive areas from installing a septic system, requiring a holding tank instead. In some localities in the United States, existing rural residential waste cesspools are grandfathered, which basically means like it's sort of like it okay, i.e., allowed to continue operations until they no longer function. Once defunct, they must be disconnected and replaced by modern septic systems in areas that have a higher than usual water table or fail a procolation test. An above ground drain field waste disposal system may be installed instead. In the case of sale or transfer of residential property that uses an existing waste cesspool system, local laws may differ. Some counties or jurisdictions do not permit the sale of residential property that utilizes a waste cesspool. Other counties or villages may recognize the grandfathered clause and allow the property sale or transfer with the cesspool. The typical American urbanite in the 1870s relied on the rural solution of individual well and outhouse or cesspools. Baltimore in the 1980s smelled like a billion polecats. Okay, now that's all we need to know about a cesspool. Cobra is the fictional nemesis of the G.I. Joe team and the Hasbro toy lines and related media. This is an alphabetical listing of Cobra members with unique identities, as well as the members of its factions. Alexander McCulkin. Cully McCulkin. Alexander Cully McCulkin is Dextro's long. Wait. What would it be called? What's that gaming I'm not exactly a like I said, I'm a political science professor at the Inside Academy, so I don't even know exactly like there's like that gaming news outlet that like is like Dextro or something, and they always like report on gaming stuff. And I like reading them because I used to play video games a lot when I was a kid, but I'm not a baby anymore. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I have like a job and stuff, and I don't know. So I always get like anytime I see any word that sounds like I used to read them a lot. So anytime I see a word that's like, oh my goodness, yeah. So I mean like Bayonet, and you have like Big Boa, um um Black Dragon leader, Black Dragon, we love him. Black Dragon ninjas. And I don't even know why I'm laughing. Black Dragon troopers. Anyway, so yeah, and then we have sanitation. You just basically read the whole sanitation thing, and yeah. So my OBS is freezing. I don't know if you hear anything I say. I really don't know if you're hearing anything I'm saying right now because the OBS is frozen. I have currently a frozen OBS right now. It's currently frozen. The OBS is currently frozen. Okay. Now, so, yeah. So this is basically, I guess by the time the video's over with, I guess it'll be about 25 minutes. This is basically how you do 4 years of college in about 25 minutes. You're welcome, and I appreciate a like. I'd appreciate money. Like I appreciate everything you have to give me, because honestly, like or give us the academy. I mean, we are a very, we're not super large or anything. We're not large in number of of employees, or even in we are large in our outreach though. We got a lot of students. We got a lot of listeners. People who aren't even don't even take classes necessarily. They just, listen to our online videos, our online classes. I'd say really, and they don't do like they don't pay for classes or anything, and they just, do this, and it's incredible. Basically, I mean, this is enough to get you through college, right? We are the extra step, but yeah, I mean, yeah, so yeah, I was about to say something really cool. We're not. We don't have a lot of employees. We're not a big organization, but you better believe right now we're big in character. We got a whole lot of character. We, and we fight. We fight like hell, and we will never stop fighting for you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Take care. Please take care. Goodbye.